emergencies. Before we open or to formally open our session for this afternoon, I would like to invite you to join us in our opening prayer and the singing of our national anthem. Catherine, ako po si Catherine Belmonte, the Executive Director of A2D Project Research Group for Alternatives to Development Incorporated. And in behalf of our project team and our guest speaker, I would like to welcome you all in our afternoon's session, wherein we will be talking about, or our guest speaker will be sharing his mental health journey, how he was able to cope with the recent na mga emergencies that we have experienced, yung Typhoon Odette, and also yung just recently yung ating pandemic and how he was able to cope up with these adversities. Before we start with the session, I would like to ask you to focus sa ating ground rules for this Zoom activity. So I request everyone to be on mute. If you have any questions or anything that you would like to say, you can use our raise hand button. And then you can also write your questions sa ating chat box. Unless your name has been recognized by our speaker or by our moderator, kindly wait po na mute tayo. And questions will be entertained at the end of the presentations, or it is upon our guest speaker if he will recognize you and allow you to ask the questions. For identification purposes, I would like to encourage everyone to rename your display name using this format: organizational name underscore name, like what is presented in your screen. And then we also have an attendance sheet. Should you like to receive an online or an electronic copy of your certificate for this online session. And finally, let us be respectful at all times. And just a quick context po, no, why we are having this session for this afternoon. So this is part of our initiative or project entitled For Participation of Persons with Disability in Disaster and Climate Risk Governance in the Philippines. So this is a 2-year project that is supported by the United Nations Democracy Fund. This has been launched in March 2022 until February 2024 and is being implemented in Cebu province, particularly in 20 local government units. So the main purpose of this project is to increase yung representation and participation of persons with disabilities in disaster risk management, given that they are among the vulnerable population identified to be most at risk to the impact of any disaster or emergencies. And then, as mentioned, this is being implemented in 20 LGUs in North and South. That includes Minglanilla, San Fernando, Sambuan, Santander, Baloon, Alcoy, Aluginsan, Barili, Tuburan, and so on. And the reasons why we are having this online session, for those who are new to this online session po, no, this is already our 8th, and in the past, since March 2023, we have been doing online sessions then to promote inclusive DRR advocacy. And one of the reasons why we are having this online session, because we wanted to reach a greater audience, given na yung scope or yung geographic scope of our project is limited to the 20 LGUs. We wanted na we reach more people, more leaders, and even more persons with disabilities, so they can also become an advocate for themselves and within their family and even sa kanilang community. And then we also wanted to increase yung understanding ng general population on the vulnerabilities, capacities, and roles of persons with disabilities during and after disaster emergencies. And finally, we would like to raise the advocacy or the awareness on proper handling of persons with disabilities during an emergency and even during normal times. And right now, yung ating pinaka-topic is about people with psychosocial disability. And we are very fortunate that we have our guest speaker for this afternoon, who will be talking about and sharing about his mental health journey, and how he was able to cope up with the impact of the recent pandemic and the Typhoon Odette. And it's very timely because yesterday, October 10, we celebrated the World Mental Health Day with the theme, uh, mental health is a universal right. So again, yesterday is the celebration of the World Mental Health Day with the theme mental health is a universal. So these are just the past sessions that we have conducted in the past. If you wanted to view or to know about these topics, you can visit our website, or our Facebook page, A2D Plus. So now I would like to turn it over to our guest speaker, Richard Joseph T. Abad. So he has a top-rated status in Upwork as a brand developer, content writer, and graphic artist for more than 100 clients since 2010 to present. And right now, he has 100 plus five-star reviews from the clients that he had served in the present and currently. He's also a content creator, editor, director, writer, blogger, and vlogger for his own video production company, Bisaya Short Film, since 2009. And he's also an author, or the author of an article he wrote for Sunstar Daily, and has been published in this newspaper, entitled "Ferdinand is a Genius Like Me." And finally, he considered himself as a mental health advocate. So join me in welcoming our guest speaker. Sir Richard Abad, go ahead. Thank you.
Um, yes, I'm no longer, yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
And video is, I'm still waiting for my video, right?
Your videos is also showing.
Okay. I'm not seeing my face. Oh, first of all, I am a bit embarrassed. Sorry for the what you read there, especially the one that I wrote where it's Ferdinand is a genius. It's meant for comedy. It's not kanang parang hindi ko na realize na ilagay pala siya sa front. It's actually my resume for applying a job. I didn't mean to like make it appear there that it's like that. It might appear a bit uh just a bit awkward to share those. But anyway, I do freelance work. I'm Richard, and wait, I'm not seeing my face. It would be nice to see if you're seeing me. Where is my face? Okay, here's my face. Got it, got it. Wait, let me. Okay. Sure. This full screen face. Okay, there. Okay, so hi guys. So I'm just here to support the advocacy of um, my friend Cora, a leader here at Persons with Disabilities Affairs Office here in Cordova, Cebu. And wait, let me just adjust. Okay. So my okay, I will go directly to I will share my screen now. Is it okay if I can kadang share ninyo yung screen ko?
Yes, go ahead, Richard.
Okay, wait. That's the lighting issue here. Let me just check. So, hi guys, sana kumain na kayo. I'm supposed to have 2 hours of talk, but let's just make this as casual as possible. If may maka-asa ako, so lagay ko lang sa inyo yan. I will now share my screen. I'm seeing here nga host disabled participant screen sharing. So is there a way I can I
Please go
can.
again.
Okay.
Sorry.
Now it's now here. Where is my speaker slide is there. I will now turn this to a slideshow. So you are seeing there my okay, you are seeing my slides now, guys.
Yes, but hindi siya
Full screen,
naka-presentation
no?
mode. Yes.
Kasi I'm having
Okay.
I was thinking of my notes are in a different place. So if I what about this are you all are you seeing the screen okay?
Yes.
Wala namang problema, no? So pwede ko palang i-separate window. So you're seeing it there. No worries there. So okay, let's start. I'm Richard. My talk right now, my talk this afternoon will be about my my journey as a person with a diagnosis and a PWD ID na ako because of my psychosocial disability condition. 2010, I was diagnosed with clinical depression. In 2012, there might be symptoms there, parang nag-share siya sa bipolar disorder pero clinical depression. Hindi siya extreme kasi parang level siya na level 1 of cancer, 2, 3, parang may ganyan siya na spectrum. So I'll be sharing here some of the things and valuable mistakes, valuable lessons from the expensive mistakes that I got through that hopefully you can share to your people and like para maging may purpose yung mga kadiliman na nangyari sa buhay ko. At saka the other part is like challenges, ng mga malalaking challenges during emergencies. So there you go. And so coping with challenges of people with psychosocial disability. I'd also like to say that sa akin, hindi ako yung nasa extreme case pa. Thank God for that. I've been blessed and lucky na I have a supportive family. Dito sila nanonood na. Di talaga, pag may mga calamity, di talaga ako siya yung, ang problema ko lang just, number one, parang one and only is access to medication kasi sirado. Yung sa Odette, pero parang lahat naman yun. Pero yun lang, or hindi na gumagana. I'll be talking to about that later. But for now, I would like the coverage of my talk this afternoon would be this five things, 5 topics. Who am I? My diagnosis, paano namin that's a problem, what was the intervention, what was the solution, and then how we solve it. And now 2010 to 2020, ano na ngayon, 2023. 13 years na, how I've been like stabilized. I'm still having my maintenance boy na ako, but it's like 2 years so stable, very productive, as in like ano na talaga, parang nag-down yung airplane at naka-ano na talaga siya, nag-fly, stable na lang ganyan. So that's been happening for 3 years, and and that's a success and the challenges. Okay, let's continue. So the next thing is paano ito maliit? Ayan. Kung makita yung full screen, I need to make this smaller. So parang napaka awkward ng sinulat ko dito, but this is just to illustrate what the drastic change of who Richard is now. So Richard is that's me. So Richard has been an achiever. He's 37 years old now. I'm 37. And he's been through a lot. But what's interesting that I'd like to share here in this talk is how I became, I started from becoming like consistent top student, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, top of the class. Public school nga lang, hindi naman talaga ang genius na parang Elon Musk. Pero top talaga, pinadala sa lahat. Parang wala talagang problema. The last person people will expect na something maging siguro yung maparagwara sa lansangan, pero consistent top 1 student. High school ako, may mga parang may mga politics siguro doon, may mga medals na pinagagawa nila, pinabibigay kahit wala namang pero meron talagang level of sa genetic code ko, parang achiever. So at people person, talagang masayahin, parang makakonect talaga kaagad starting from grade 1 to even high school. I became a Supreme Student Government President, Leadership Awardees. Talagang parang pag lumabas na ako sa high school, parang pwede na yata akong maging hindi naman senior management, pero pwede nang maging supervisory role na kaagad sa work kasi na-train na talaga pag high school. Parang minumold ako na maging leader, na maging doon, mapunta para pag sumali sa corporate. Tagalog man lahat no? Nasabot naman dito or what should be the preference? What should be the preference language? English and Tagalog, no? And okay lang ba, moderator?
Yes,
What's the best?
sorry, Tagalog and English.
Okay, copy. So yun, the story there is like, how was this decorated? And then normal lang, parang wala lang until all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just like it started to my high school. Parang maybe in the sa body na yung chemical makeup ng body, parang din na kasi usually ang diagnosis ng bipolar at depression usually happens 16, 17. So things happen. I will elaborate later until suddenly from all that, nag-drop out talaga ako. May mga may verbal, hindi naman pagpatay or verbal violence ako sa relationships ko. May mga anger issues na ako. Tapos lumayas na ako. Na-surprise lahat kasi walang trigger. So parang at first, may nangyari na heartbreak, yung ganon. At tapos personal trial sa family. Pero yung sa iba, kung mangyari man yun, rise up, but then to mine it just became so I responded differently to that situation until suddenly I quit school na talagang from high na parang ganyan na surprise nga sa family ko itong mga friends na siya si Richard parang yun wala naman yung problema, di least expected ba. Tapos naging janitor na ako as in intentional, may mga opportunities, scholarships akong mga nakuha, tinapon ko lang lahat. Parang may anger at rebellion against the world or parang ganun talaga, naging security guard. Until, yun, layer but it happened at around 2009. Parang talaga in my mind, it's just really dark. And then to the point that ang milestone nito, parang highlight nito is like, it just went so hard, like more than 2 weeks. Usually clinical depression, it's 2 weeks. It's just so, parang akala ko drama-drama lang, yung parang normal lang talaga yan, lumalabas. Hindi siya naagapan. It just really reached a point that I harmed myself. There's like plan na to end my life until nag-panic attack ako 2010. Lumayas na ako sa family, wala na ako doon. Nangyari doon, nasa bahay lang ako sa apartment na rinirentahan. It's first time in my entire life na parang 4 na yung kamay ko. That was the triggering point talaga na when I went, like something in me said nga, I had to go back to the home to get a doctor or anong kaya. Kasi medical na yung na-feel. Before lang, sad lang, familiar lang ako. Until to the point na parang kasi wala na ring nutrition, as in hindi na ako kumakain ng mabuti. Parang ganun na din. Until 2010, it just came out of nowhere na pumunta kami ng doctor to check for the psychiatrist, may kalala na family friend. And then that's 2010, we went to the doctor and doon nakita na binigyan ako mag-start ng therapy, tapos may mga medications na. And then 2012 naglipat kami ng doctor sa Manila kasi I was feeling like kasi ito talaga yung hindi naman na-judge lahat pero may like because like this is my orientation right now because there's an enemy going on like the devil, that some call it the devil sa Christian terminology, but in science probably just like the universe, the black hole of the universe, my dark side talaga universe, yung meron ng black hole sa space. So there's this in my mind I feel like my attention into globally na yung big pharma na parang may biases talaga yung doctors na mag-prescribe kasi maybe meron talagang lumalapit na commission for that and cannot be blamed kasi it's the system na ano na rin talaga nobody can be judged. So I moved to a different doctor. So that's also, these are the 4 things that can be highlighted in my talk right now, feel relevant. Yung expensive medication ko kasi lumalim na talaga yung problema na ayaw ko ng parang di na gradual lang talaga siya na parang ayaw ko nang mabuhay at meron naman, this is the funny thing kasi merong opportunities, hindi naman pinabayaan financially, above average nga na household, pero that's what I'll discuss later. What could be the probable causes ng mga ganitong pangyayari. And then, so those are the things you can learn about me. Nag-move ako to a different doctor. 2012 to 2000 ngayon, yun na lang, once a year, tapos may maliit na lang na medication. So, the medical intervention there was yun, pumunta nga sa doctor. It started there. It started na there 2010. Yun, follow na lang kami sa anong may binigay na medication. So, ang mga things that may or may not be the trigger sa naging condition ko, may nag-raise ng hand. Hi, Em. So, yun, ang na-feel ko na possible I didn't grow up into an traditional household. Wala naman talagang abuse na nangyayari sa like I was raised by my lola and like the titas are there and all that, but like the absence of the parents could be, these are not guaranteed na ito talaga yung mga causes, but it's really a hard like finding a needle on from a haystack na ano talagang nangyayari, pero usually this could be of value to the leaders nga para mga triggering factors na maybe if we can address this sa mga parents, para may mga ang A2D, may mga seminar with the parents, hindi binabasta-basta yung okay lang ako, absent parents, meron namang lola dyan. Kasi iba na talaga yung modern make-up ng tao eh. It's like, hindi naman guaranteed na mamamatay tayo from car crash kung hindi mag-seatbelt. Pero kung walang seatbelt, pwede namang mabuhay para accident. May mga rare situations na nag-seatbelt, hindi nag-seatbelt na buhay pa rin. Pero high risk na talaga. So we're putting our children at high risk people if they grow up from a non-traditional or walang both. Mas may data nga ako nga maybe kung kahit isa lang. So hindi naman lahat, pero kung nilalagyan natin ng parang additional risk ba. So absent parents, yung ako hindi naman for them they might be saying na hindi naman ka namin ina-abandon kasi we're seeing you once a year, once every 3 years. So pero it could be also from genetic lang talaga. And then yun, absent parents, yun ang probable. And then I was exposed to also mental health po na condition, na may mental health condition din na a challenge na family member. And then I was exposed there na na-shock ako later from grade school to college. Wala naman talaga, hindi ako exposed sa kanya. And then she came to the picture and then na-shock siguro I was coddled. I was not exposed to such abuse and na-shock yung body ko. Hindi ko na-take kasi yung iba, na-abuse na sila siguro sa lang mga verbal, yung mga strong na rough treatment pagbata. Parang ako, hindi ako exposed and so mas weak ako sa ganun. So maiba yung mga nasa tondo siguro na parang araw-araw ng normal na lang sa kanila lang niya, being shouted at, being verbally abused, parang nagbi-build ng muscles ba. And in mine, hindi ako exposed kasi my lola was very gentle to me, and then kaya parang kanang wala talagang problema elementary to high school, at saka people sort of like I'm a people person, kaya yung gentle lahat, hindi ako na-expose sa mga ganyang roughness. Kaya na-shock ang body ko doon. So pero meron ding relationship isa pa nito, hindi to involve drugs. How much more pa kaya kung may connection, may na-introduce na drugs variable, so it could have been worse. So ito yung mga possible na causes nito. Yung wala ring spiritual guidance, tapos yung mga since akala natin parang wala lang yun, pero turns out as I was like scanning my life of what could be the reasons and getting a mentor from a church community I'm always I'm joining, yun talaga ma-pattern mo ay iba, para meron palang systems ang world or na by the creator na bina-violate mo, meron talagang mangyayaring mga ganyan. And it's intergenerational na previous pa na generations, kaya may mga ganito ngayon. kasi may mga violations na hindi pa na-process sa previous generations. Kaya ano. So anyway, that's just me. Parang may a bit of a guessing game, pero yun nga. And then yung mga doon din sa college ako exposed ng mga wild na mga ideas, kahit ano na lang pinakukonsume ko. Ayan, meron din trigger yan. Akala natin mga parents na ang mga parents akala na wala lang yan, mga videos lang yan pero subconsciously na-process kahit anong tinitingin nila, na-shape yung values nila So careful din kayo niyan kasi ako, I was like, my way of coping was listening to really loud music. Kaya nga ngayon meron pa akong tinnitus dahil doon kasi I'm still paying for the price sa ginawa ko. Tapos yung feel na naka-cost ko, yung coping ko rin is kain lang ng kain para to feel good. Then probably also disturb my hormonal balances, natural hormonal balances. Yun ang coping ko kasi hindi ako exposed sa mga yung drugs, hindi yan community ko. Parang mga achiever kasi yung community ko, always top 10 student kami noon. So hindi masyado so sa drinking lang. So yun, at tapos isa pang gustong sabihin is because of what happened itong mga ganitong ginagawa ko, binabaliwala ko lang, kaya lang yan. Akala natin na yung bata okay lang siya, he's functioning, ganyan, normal lang siya, ang dami achievements niya, high functioning pala, parang ticking time bomb pala, hindi yan indicator na stable ang bata na parang from bata to high school, always achieving, always top of the class. Yun, hindi lang top of like the room, but entire class of 3,000 students, like the pilot ko. So may mga siguro na din ako, maybe di naman na pressure kasi din ko naman yun na anyway, pero hindi naman sa pressure kasi masaya lang naman ako doon. Yun lang talagang exposed sa mga other pa kasi ito mix of this. So ang nangyari din because of what happened was lumakas yung medications ko to the point na parang tinutulungan ako ng family na yung antidepressants at yun ang reason na we transferred to a different doctor sa Manila. As you see in the previous slide niya, nag-skip pala ako ng number 2. So balik ko na lang. It's because of I was feeling like the doctor was probably also undergoing something. Hindi ako convinced na ang maganda yung intervention niya. By the way, just going back to number 2, yung bipolar disorder, ang clinical depression, maybe I feel like we're already familiar na sobrang ayaw nang mabuhay or ayaw nang ma-feel mo yan kung ayaw nang gumawa ng previously nakakatuwang bagay. So if it lasts 2 weeks, wag niyo na talaga yang ibaliwala or may mga behavior changes. Paano na kung walang nagmo-monitor, kung the kid is just being raised by maybe a yaya or kasi nandun sa States lahat or relative lang na hindi na talaga na mabantayan, parang na lang, passive na lang talaga, hindi yung binibigyan. So very high risk. By the time na bumuto ng bulkan kasi hindi na naagapan yung mga little growth na mga signs na parang may mga red flags na pala. So bipolar disorder, ang sa akin ang nangyari BD na NOS kasi ang extreme yung bipolar 1, di na talaga higher dosage na ng na mamanic na you can just search it online na parang iba na talagang kaya niyang lumakad ng malayo like 200 kilometers, then doon na nako-hospitalize kasi iba na talaga yung outlook niya, yung distorted naman. Sa akin, medyo nasi-share lang kasi can read it there. Parang nasa middle lang siya ng 1 at saka 2. Yan ang not otherwise specified. But if it could get worse, pag hindi naagapan, yun ang nangyayari, nagiging extreme na hindi na tumatalab yung medications. Kaya yun i-share ko later how I was able to like stabilize the things or mga variables. So it's difficult to diagnose kasi ito rin lesson kasi pag maybe I'll share this later. Kasi pag ang doctor nandun ka, ang nangyayari, they could be told by the upper ng mga nag-create na medications na ganyan yan. They just follow the textbook. Pag ganito. So pag may mangyayari, kung diretso ka talaga sa medication pag yan na hit and miss. May mga nangyayari pa, mga 2 months yata kami atong nagta-trial and error kasi may na-try akong drugs kasi na parang may mga langgam na lumalakad dito sa ilalim, tapos sometimes mayroon talaga akong nakikitang zombie, so out of this world talaga. So yun yan, magbi-build kayo ng cocktail with the patient. So nag-leave kami ng ibang doktor kasi parang nagiging experimental na yata ako kasi isa din tong issue sa big pharma na problem sa medical industry na the first line of defense talaga is medication na kaagad kasi pag nakita lang nila may suicide may suicide tendency kasi pina-file nagbigay sila ng form sa akin, and then they'll say nga medyo ka bang self-harm or suicide, and then that's probably the reason na they will prescribe you medications. So yun, that's what I want to say here about the condition. May iba ring like when there's substance abuse, dapat i-differentiate yan kung gumagamit lang ba yan because of a synthetic na ini-intake, or yung kahit yun mangyayari, malalaman mo na iba pala sa talaga siya sa ilalim kasi wala naman talagang substance abuse. So that should also be a lesson na i-distinguish kung gumagamit ba to or hindi, kasi pag hindi gumagamit ito yung na-feel niya probably internal kaya walang external contributor. So yun, another thing that I wanted to say is about this issue of iatrogenics. Isa yung parang you could also put in your bullet checklist of challenges sa industry na yung balance ng sometimes, kasi ang nangyari sa akin, may binibigay na medications na dependent ng body ko. Pag in-stop ko, try namin 5 days stop, hindi talaga makatulog, tsaka abnormal na behavior. Pero magbalik, nag-stabilize naman. So parang naka-create siya ng dependency. So ang parang problem area niyan, baka ma-manipulate yung nagpe-prescribe ng medications na i-prescribe to kasi they will always be using this nga, makaka-okay naman pero yun nga nakaka-dependent. So ay maganda to kasi maka-dependent sila sa very controversial topic kasi yan, pero it could be something can be discussed, how to create a balance of trust, or yung parang binibigyan ng medication na harm caused by the healer. You can Google that. So yan, yun. But then those interventions really help by the grace of God, at intervention ng lahat, at ang ginawa namin, which is ganito, na okay na taga, like nag-start na siya na iba ang behavior, parang may, di ko ma-pinpoint, wala na ako na siguro maganda na diary ko yun. But mga 2011, mawala na yung parang weird na sensations ko na parang di synchronize yung hindi synchronize yung body ko, parang may mga nerve damages. Ito pala, wait, let me drink na water. I'm gonna drink my water, so I need to pause. Here's another thing related to iatrogenic. It would have been nice ba, pero doon naman wala namang regrets, no, because everything happens for a reason. Would have been nice na kasi a part of this yung nangyari sa akin, maybe may kinalaman din doon sa deficiency sa nutrients. So baka B-complex or mga fats, wala na kasi ako na lang mag-isa living alone outside the family, di ako nagpakita. So baka sa mga nerve damages pa lang yun, kung naagapan lang yun, nabigyan ng multivitamins, ng B-complex, hindi na sana ako parang na-okay na ba, kumain ako maraming protein siguro, na better na ang mood ko, yung eggs, kanyan. Hindi immediately nag-result sa medications. Yun nga yung parang bitter sweet na regret ko. Okay naman ako because of the medication, pero it would have been nice na hindi ako ma-dependent. So it could have been na nasubukan siguro yun na parang nutrition muna, pinakain ako ng fats, maraming barbecue maybe, tsaka ino-observe na may behavior change ba doon. So yun lang, pero all is good. I wouldn't be here if hindi ganito nangyari. So yun lang sa mga leaders na maybe find a way na, I'm not like saying this medically, but so sa mga parents dyan, na first line of defense siguro, maybe hindi siguro medication first. So magpunta ng psychiatrist, try muna na, ipakita, kumakain ba 'to ng may maganda ba 'tong social circle or support, ano ba, na umiinom ba 'to or anong kinakain nito palagi or saan ang mga parents nito, yun muna sigurong i-fix, and then when they're okay na, di talaga magapan, maybe 2 months or 3 months, yun na, last na lang yung medication for extreme cases. Pero pag yun ang makikita niyo sa mga reports sa US na even yun sa painkiller epidemic, may opioid epidemic sa US na may konting kirot lang piniprescribean lahat kasi may na-earn yung nagpe-prescribe na money from that. They have the incentivize sila na always be sending, may pain ka, ito kasi matitrace yan, bibigyan ng pera yung nagpe-prescribe. So, yun ang yun lang na realize ko na ganito pala situation, sana ma-resolve tong ganito, and I continue to pray na hindi ito mangyayari sa iba. And the next is how the coping. Ito talaga, Jesus 1000%. Like 2011, start na ako ng medication at therapy. Meron pa rin, may mga episodes ako, nagla-lash out ako, tinatapon ko sa sobrang anger ko kasi daming nawala daming nawala yung relationships ko. My girlfriend ako nga, grabe ko, because of my behavior, hindi parang nagiging scary na siya. So, hindi nag-work. So, ito talaga, mga 2 years na ako nitong faith, walk in faith, tapos may small support group, napaprocess talaga yung parang mga wiring mo sa brains na nabibigyan talaga ng massage at na iron out. So yun, that's how I cope. But that's only mga starting 3 years ago. Talagang 110% ng change. But before that, I was just reading up on mga literature sa mga nangyayari sa 250, so 7. Okay. So yun ang coping ko, nagre-remove talaga ng junk, exercise, ito yung talagang i-include natin na, pero buti kung nagko-cooperate yung patient or yung pero ito yung challenge talaga may grace lang talaga sa akin na parang nag-cooperate ako kasi pag yung patient linalagay usually sa rehab because of the mga instances hindi nag-cooperate, isa din yon na challenge. So in my case, ewan ko kung bakit na-cooperate nga, I wanted to be better, nagpa-fasting ako, so the principle there is to remove all those junk na tinitake ko, lumalabas balik yung kasi exposed na ako sa sa drugs na medication. So yun, parang tingin ko nag-help din. Then may mga booklet on mental meditation, how to like control your mind, be detached from the emotions. May nabasa akong book na Power of Now na like basta mga ang technical term na yan na nasa medical is medical literature na ginagamit daw, tapos yung cognitive behavior therapy, tapos yung family talaga, gumagawa na ako ng system ngayon, parang operating system of my life, na ito talaga, dito kayo ini-nurture, fertilizan nyo talaga yung family, yung small church group, tapos yung mental health nyo. Kaya ngayon feel ko na ayun siguro na naging kasi hindi naman always effective yung medication. May mga instances na taas na nila ng dose, hindi pa rin sila okay. So yun, luck lang, grace at saka luck at talaga na nagwo-work yun lahat with all these little things put together. Tapos nagbabasa talaga ng how our elders, yung wisdom ng lola ko, kasi yung mga wisdom nila, I like realize na something in me made me realize nga they survived. Bakit sila nag-survive ng ganito? I should follow them if I want to live that long. Hindi ako magfa-follow ng mga new ideas kasi yung new ideas very appealing, attractive, pero hindi pa yung tested ng time. Low chances na yung magpa-follow ng ideas is gonna survive kasi hidden pa kaya nga yung mga lumalabas, kaya ang airplane is like 100 years pa lang na invent, yan yung lumalabas na yung mga side effects at damage niya. So my point is, let's go back to like what lasted for 2,000 years na. And that's faith. Like nakita ko, bakit yung mga sa family ko, check the family around me, ganda, sinong mga hindi naman maganda ang life, hindi masyadong magulo. Doon ko na-test na itong ginawa nila. So yun, I tried to take seriously na this concept of sin, ano yan, hindi lang yan basta-basta. So really remove it until yun lumalabas na yung natural default settings na how you're designed to be naturally ba. So parang yung if you remove, may principle yan sa science na the way it's better to remove than to add to be better. Like if you add like like removing junk from your body is sort of better than adding multivitamins kasi nagsasanga yung complications, but then when you remove, yun ang concept ng fasting. Ginawa ko yun, tapos medicate, at tapos meron pa rin medication but super lowest dose. Before mga 20,000 yung medication, no, as I said in the previous slide, but now charan, it's just 300 pesos for ganyan a month sa dalawang meds na nangakuan. So very happy with that. May tinnitus na ako nga parang side effect ng medication siguro or because of the loud music and coping, pero isa din yun. Okay na, naagapan na. So my point is sa mga one of my points is ito pa rin is yung sins or yung if you understand the thing from perspective sa spiritual or kasi we did a prayer a while ago and sa faith, may mga ways talaga na when we leave the right course of action ng design ni Lord ba, may mga consequences. So maybe yun nangyari na trace ko nga wala man kung isa, wala naman akong kasalanan, hindi naman ako nakapatay, hindi ako nagnakaw, pero those little things, premarital sex, lust, anger, yung mga backbiting, tapos yung mga thoughts nila, words that we share around, anger, really add up. You could, pwede kayong, hindi naman yan totoo, hindi naman, meron namang mga hindi nangyari kaya. Well, it's your choice, pero, when you see the consequence, bakit hihintayin mo pa yung consequence na you can avoid it naman, pero di talaga mostly nakikinig mga tao kasi yung bata nga, hindi sabihan mo wag mong don't touch the fire, always touch the fire. So, yeah, there's a way sa mga nako-convince na meron talaga yung damage in your life, makikita mo walang magandang nangyayari or always failure yung mga work natin or yung mga activities natin. Maybe something na nasa spiritual level na hindi nila nasusunod. There's a system or the way the world works na nababiolate na mga rules. So yun talaga, ito malaki yun. So that's how I cope. I just take it easy, play with cats and videos, and make sure to really avoid sin, understand that the concept of sin, yung mga ganyan. Tapos, there's a way na learn ko na there's a way you could surrender yourself to a savior na hindi na your own effort. Yun rin na mindset na tinay ko lang kasi open-minded ako naging I tried this faith solution kasi it lasted for thousands of years. Yun ang criteria ko. Nakikita ko around me, my sister, also other family members na uy, maganda silang ganyan life Ano kayang ginagawa na? Lola ko rin, inask ko. So I was there because they are actual proof ba na hindi lang siya theory. May talaga tinatawag na skin in the game na it shows in actual nila. Kasi makikita mo yung mga before na fina-follow ko when I was in college, mga artists, mga intellectuals, yung mga gagaling, mga musicians, ganyan. Yes, super grabe, nakakahanga yung mga talents, pero kita mo mga live, parang always depressed, alcoholic, daming mga, di talaga ideal na ayaw ko maging ganyan. Gusto ko lang sila sa mga art nila, sa mga ginagawa, pero meron palagang examples na isiset na try natin ipa-follow na ma-avoid doon. So yun, you can always make the choice, but then make smart decisions lang talaga, guys. So yun, one of my successes now is I'm earning again. I feel like I have now a lifestyle no longer I feel fulfilled, wala na talaga yung before, grabe, nag-started to na extreme na talaga na stable mga 4 years ago. So before that, I was still verbally abusive or not unkind to my mother. I burst out with anger, pero may nangyari talaga when I started with this faith lang kasi mga started 3 years ago na may nawala talaga na anger at rage against my parents kasi I felt like I lost major parts of my life because of what they did. May mga ganyang thoughts pero hindi naman talaga yan totoo. But then nawala yung rage. Before, nagka-calendar talaga ako na once a week talagang inaatake ko yung mama ko verbally because maliliit na bagay. Then we started really digging up into this Jesus faith. Grabe, may transformation talaga na, oh wow, I could like, that's why I'm always now, I'm betting on it, like I'm putting my life on the line here na direction kasi nakita ko talaga yung value niya na. And then slowly, lumalalim, ang ganda, ang ganda. Ganda talaga. So, I have so much will to live now, society, and like whatever like this, mga advocacy. Tapos, and ang naganda pa rin dyan, if you really, if I assess my life, is gumaganda rin yung mga blessings, yung financial opportunities, tapos always yung ang isa pang maganda when I really started to change my lifestyle, yung nangyari dito na kinukuha ko na lahat, tapos really made an effort ba, really all these things dinalagyan, ininvestan ko talaga ng parang chunk of my time and money to really ganyan. Yun, feel ko na walang, meron pa rin pero hindi na masyado, parang nag-change talaga 88-90%. Lahat ng mga ayaw ko sa buhay nawawala, and then contentment, parang turn off, all the senseless desires are being turned off na, hindi na masyadong ganyan ka before kasi I'm always discontented, ganyan. And nawala na. So I'm now more accepting of everything, forgiving my parents, and I've forgiven myself with the help of God. Then I'm happier. Yung sleep talaga na major issue na ako, doon talaga ako dinisiplina ni Lord na after like I did all those, I repented and I just did the things nga my church leader told me, and all my people and that were very helpful in my walk to wellness. Nagiging nagiging nakakatulog na at yeah, I'm now feeling like I'm a powerful source of positivity to everyone. So yun, I in this part, prevention and advocacy na related to what I've shared to you, anong pwedeng to better our country, our society, our groups, little small groups in our, kasi more dito is mga leaders lahat lang ang mga lugar. This might be biased pero yun talagang church, doon talaga ako na nasosold sa idea of like small, kaso meron talagang may mga, we also need to be wise na meron mga kulto talaga na from the enemy. No, so we need to be hanapin natin kasi sa akin I trusted the church na pinalihan ko because of my sister na doon na siya. So I have a umaangkla ako doon sa sister ko, and because doon na I didn't trust the church first but I trusted my sister, and then I see her, siya yung tumutulong ng medication ko even if like I was not very kind to her and marami akong nagawa. Doon talaga like I saw Jesus, like that's it pala na let's try our best nga people will see Jesus in us, and doon na if we're like that, mas makukonvince sila na makinig sa atin because we're setting an example. Pero mahirap yan talaga kasi we're not perfect, but you know, there's a way na we can achieve that. So yan, I really hope nga may mga churches pa na mga small churches, the smaller the better, na yung ginagawa namin, may mga weekly kami talaga na process, parang medical therapy na talaga siya sa mental, kasi it's a mental battle yung sa psychosocial I'm not sure sa ibang sa PWD na mga ibang departments or like sa paraplegic or sa deaf and blind, but sa akin so mental battle na masolve lang natin. Yes. Question. So I really hope na meron talagang mga psychologists or ganyan na mga those who believe in Jesus will step up and really help around to spread and to address the causes that brokenness sa lahat niya nagsispread at nagka-cause ng damage sa anak kasi ang anak nakakaanak na naman, tapos merong mga ano yung napapaangkan, yung mga um, early pregnancy, yung mga bata na ano pa, na bata pa buntis na, yun cause yun of a brokenness. May talagang dapat yang i-solve from the root level. So stronger policies to discourage parents from abandoning their children, just leaving them to guardians kasi high risk pero di talaga maiwasan kasi mostly the parents will go abroad because the better opportunity there. Pero ayan, that the cost really there is you're putting a risk to mga may mga childhood developmental disorders kasi for thousands of years sa caveman times kasama talaga yung mama, di ba? We're built in by nature na ganyan, pero pag linig mo yan, may mga abnormalities na kami, ganyan ng psychologically, physically, kasi for thousands of years, ang nangyayari ang bata, sama talaga sa mama at tapos breastfeed. So hindi pa nakaka-adjust pag if we leave, we deviate or we live away from that design, I feel like meron talaga abnormalities. But not all, but then we're putting our kids in high risk if we don't address that. So we should be careful introducing children to new untested modern ideas na hidden pa ang mga damages kasi uso na nga ngayon may mga bagong na invento na ito supplement, ito melatonin, yun, pero may mga iba doon na nakakatulong din naman pero meron din namang nakaka-cause ng damage. So maybe there's a way nga ang na-learn ko is maganda yung mga bagong ideas na experimental pa. If very emergency na, yung high risk na talaga na conditions. But, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert on that. But, at sa akin lang, yung issue ko lang na related sa mental health, sa condition ko is yung nabigyan talaga ng automatic, mas immediate yung medication, pwedeng if there's a way na maybe hindi lang muna education kasi nakaka-create ng dependence, lifetime na ang maintenance. So, yun, itong 5 medyo hindi na to kayo related pero it could be maybe din na-pressure din sa bata, sobrang grabe yung pinagagawa, medyo na regulate na siguro to. But yung sa amin yung sinulog kami yung pinatrain whole summer, init, tirik ng init na pinapra-practice at like under the sun. Nababawal na yan ngayon pero too late na diyan ang damage. So yan talagang life. If there's a way na maano pa yan, kasi may authority sila, they can like ask the children, and meron namang walang parents, di masyadong strong yung parental presence sa akin, so napabayaan na, sali ka doon, so sinalihan lahat, nag-burn out, medyo sigurong yung energy ko na pwedeng spread out pa for the rest of my life, na-consume na within 3 years, pagod na ang bata, so medyo may ma-damage din yan. So maybe teachers din, may magawa tayo dyan na system na regulation or pero ito masosolve to if sa akin ang ko talaga, if I'm allowed to mabias na, if they can really like the real Jesus love and patience na mas-spread sa lahat ng mga teachers, and then hindi na kailangan talaga silang i-monitor kasi deep down sila nang gumagawa ng talaga na talaga ang ikakabuti. Yun talaga, just praying mapasukan talaga ng ang Jesus, marami pang mga mag-Jesus, real Jesus believers na hindi lang yung Zimbabwe, yung Zimba tapos uwi. Parang following really the life of Jesus pa. Sana marami like parang whole Philippines na talaga like Jesus believing, yung following talaga na hindi na kailangan may magpulis kasi nasa ilalim na talaga may internal police na nagmo-monitor. Hindi na kayang gumawa ng masama kasi Jesus in them is already there. So really hope that happens. Ito na ang part ko, so perfect, so it's 3 okay, last 30 tapos question and answer na. Are you guys still there? Am I registering well? You can still hear me okay, no?
Yes.
Thank you. So yun, all that, sana mapulutan natin. So sinong mga responsible na sa mga LGU. Mayroon nagawa naman to ni Mayor Tomas yung related sa sinulog dancers na mga bata yung pinasasayaw at may kukunin pa nga choreographer na nabalitaan pa na pedophile, na report na pedophile, din hanggang napunta sa risky na situation yung bata. Buti na lang hindi ako, pero sa aming time may mga na-report na kasama namin na yung choreographer pala, yung leader pala ay may pedophilia tendencies. So ayun, dami talagang yun magawa pa sa parents na side at sa teacher side na ma-avoid na maparami tong mga mental health issues na to. Pero yun din ang hirap talaga, broken din yung mga sa parents kasi nga intergeneration sa before generation nila na mga nangyayari hindi pa nila na-process. So how can they be good teachers and so pero na sila hindi pa rin process, hindi pa stable. So hindi na sila makagawa ng nila, ng proper role nila, then yun nadadamage ang bata din. So ito na yung lessons na pwede ninyong spread at experience ko first hand during Odette at mga previous pa na mga power interruptions. Kasi sa nangyayari sa akin, yun, access to walang malapit na mercury drug, so hard for me to, then the transport issue was a problem because of Odette. So buti na lang may naka-reserve ako, may system ako, naka-reserve talaga 30 tablets, in a 1/4 ko yan. So paano pag walang pharmacist or healthcare facility? So maybe i-consider yan. Ang magandang magawa siguro dito ng mga leaders or sa A2D is mayroon silang data sa mga psychosocial na may mga maintenance medications per region like LGU or like barangay ito or municipality of Cordova. Ito yung mga tao na may mga ganitong medications, tapos yun lang, siguro mag-group, at then someone will be like riding a motorcycle punta ng Mercury at maka-prepare na sila at sabihan ng mga pharmacists na ay guys, ditong region maybe dito ganyan ba na doon sila Mercury, doon sila bibili sa mga medications itong mga people dito na region, so make sure may stock kayo. Yan din. At isa din yung itong potential disruption of medication supply chains. May mga TV shows din na nagpikita, what if like i-recall or i-discontinue ng pag-create ng meds namin, dito lang gusto ng body ang namin ng katawan. So that's a challenge there. Paano po i-discontinue na or may mga reports na hindi na ba may mga damaging pala yan na effects na tinitake namin na meds. Microdose naman yun sa akin Pag nag-try na din kami ng another cocktail or mix ng meds, ibang trial and error naman yan. But we'll rely on God and faith na ma-achieve yan. So pag walang meds, yung tulog na apektuhan. Pag yung tulog, of course, hindi nakakatrabaho, tapos pasanga-sanga na talaga yan. Kasi pag ang sa akin, na-learn ko for 2 years na ganito, pag na-address ko na lang yung tulog, wala talagang problema, walang depression, nakakaya na ng mga mental trainings ko na, or yung mga cognitive behavior therapy, mga mental practices ba, na hindi ka talaga na nada-damage or nati-trigger. So another challenge would be yung evacuation to unfamiliar noisy shelters. Ayun, tapos yung charging outlet ko kasi ito consequence ng mga sins ko at dito talaga ako dinisiplina ni Lord. May 24/7 na sa akin, mahina lang kung hindi nagkape. Pero yun ang buhay. Kailangan ko talaga na nag-charge yung sa Odette. Kailangan ko mag-charge ng cellphone ko. May mga mataas na linya. Buti na lang by the help of God na mayroon talaga akong always. May background white noise kasi ako when I listen to when I sleep para makatulog other than the medication. Para para sa yun, para sa sa tulog. So ano pa? Ito, anxious or stressful environments, di naman talaga immediate na parang yung extreme case na nakikita mo na para kung maingay, nagwawala na parang ano na talaga, ibang level na psychosis ba yan? I don't wanna say the wrong term, pero di naman ganyan sa akin. Nada-down lang, wala naman akong experience na ano, yung parang attack talaga na one day immediate na parang epileptic attack. So, ang challenge lang dito 'pag mga ganyan, may evacuation, may mga stressful environments, di nakakatulog and nawawala yung mga cellphone, nati-trigger. Pero confident naman ako na kaya, di naman mahirap yung kung 'pag may tulog, di mahirap yung pag-transfer ng location at yun nga, at yung ano lang talaga, yung access sa medication. So, eto yung sinabing loss of daily structure and stability, may mga mood swings. Okay lang naman, hindi naman talaga extreme na naka-affect um, ng mga everyday. Pero that's for me na hindi extreme case. Pero what about those na nasa extreme talaga? So that I feel like ang inimagine ko lang yung sa akin, itini-times 10 ko na parang kung wala ng daily structure, may kilala nga ako na parang ano talaga, pag tapat firm na ano, yung sa may nasa sa autism. Di naman to autism, maybe yung psychosocial, iba siguro yun na category. Pero nagwawala yung bata. So, and then, ito usually, ang pinaka sa akin niya sa psychosocial sa amin, yun lang talagang, at saka yung triggers, yung nade-depressed or nawawala ng yung extreme na pag nati-trigger ako or na-trigger kami na hindi namin makontrol, yung nangyari ko pang hindi yung pag-cut ng meds, hindi mabuti ang pag-cut, hindi masyadong chopped. Ang nangyayari is may mga feel ko laging hindi mood changes na enough siya na mahirap i-self-control yung nati-trigger ako ng may nasabi sa akin ng isang person. So si person, kung meron okay ang tulog ko, maganda yung pagkahiwa ng meds, walang nababaliwala ko lang yun pero or hindi na miss kasi same time talaga tinitake. Na realize may data kasi ako linalagay ko sa Excel sheet. May nangyayari na there was one time I went to a reunion so I came home late and took my meds late, 1 AM na. Ano ko, talagang easily triggered, maano ka lang, ma-anger, tsaka hindi upset talaga na feeling ba. And it feels like nag-add up yan and nakaka-affect na sa ability to work, maybe to engage with people. And sa akin, it's sobra talagang ma-trigger. Ang isang na-respond ko na parang nasa normal ba to sa lahat or parang sa condition to is yung hirap na I leave the group and then I discontinue seeing the person and then that person is sobrang close ko. Yung yan lang talagang it's the only person I talked to for the last 2 years tapos nawala lang. Kaya may abnormality because of one thing na na-trigger lang sa nasabi niya or sa joke ng ganyan. So yun nga, careful lang siguro sa mga leaders with oversensitive siguro kami or because of we're always in our heads. So oversensitivity. So when talking to them, make it as practical lang siguro as possible. Sa bipolar disorder research ko, I don't know, I hope I can answer more sa be an expert in this. I hope we have a trusted kasi hindi lahat naman na nasa medical industry can be trusted. So I hope we have an expert na we can trust ditong bipolar disorder na makashare ng anong mga nuances but para ibigay sa responders. So sa akin, coping strategies ko that you can share around would be may emergency kit na ako, always naka-charge power bank para yung tinnitus ko, always ako may battery kung mahirapan tulog. Yung times 2 yung kasi hindi ako pwedeng magbili ng maraming masyado na meds kasi baka baka my body decides to no longer parang ano ba yon habituation, may term yon na ayaw na ng body ng meds ko, parang create na siya ng tolerance, yun pala tolerance. So pag niramihan ko like 1 to 3 months worth na medication is sa stockpile ko, sayang hindi na yan ma-return kung hindi na magamit. So maximum ang preparedness ko, maximum lang na makaya ko which is 1 month worth, parang tatlong dapat naka-stock talaga. May sistema ko. Always I teach, ito pa lang maganda i-teach sa mga mental health, sa mga leaders natin for mental health. Gawa ng system like an app or notes or Excel sheet, parang checklist. May pa-prepare na lang nila, share na lang parang Google Docs, parang yung form na linagay dito. So, ayan, meron ba yan? Meron na ba yung mga meds nyo naka-compile? Sure na kasi yung baka mga sobrang depressed na kayo, hindi na maka-prepare for them. So, tapos mga contact information. Tapos, isa pa, ilagay talaga yung mga patients or the person suffering from psychosocial challenges with a small group na may monitor. Yan talaga siguro na things sa DSWD parang may nagro-roving na weekly pero wala na tayong people, walang masyadong staff din. Ang hope ko lang is may mga volunteers na out of the love lang talaga nila of their Lord, of their Jesus, of the humanity na yun, part na lang sila kahit hindi binabayaran, nagro-roving sa mga patients, sinasamahan. Sa amin, meron kaming small church group na nagmi-meet talaga regularly para, process it out. Nakakatulong talaga. I so attest to that. So I hope people na suffering or psychosocial, they find a group na hindi, yun talaga, to make them get away from groups na talagang nakakasama or makes things worse, like sa mga drinking, yan talagang nakikita ko for certain groups eh. May mga na-coping nila is wala nang buhay after this, i-enjoy na lang natin lahat. Pero meron naman like there's an alternative na maganda pa rin, masaya. Pero I cannot judge them then because I have medication na always keeping me up. Like may artificial nagpapasaya sa akin ba. So ganyan, baka curse blessing siya in a way kasi I'm always like more I feel like I'm happier often than others because of the medications na parang artificial na oxygen ba. So yun, pero yung iba na walang hindi nag-meds they're taking like kumakain ng junk to drink to whatever nga mga pleasures things of the world, di ko sila ma-judge because of maybe kanang di kasi na-process. Pero meron din namang iba na hindi na kailangan nila resort to that. Di rin nagme-meds. Masaya naman. So I hope we can bring those people to that setup, to that mindset or program na matatrain sila. So medications, ganyan. Stress management, exercise talaga. Yun, kasi doon yun yung nakaka-add yun ng dopamine at serotonin, yung mga massage points. Tapos deep breathing, yan, may collection na ako dyan sa TikTok ko, may mga folders yan eh. Pwede, ito nga, pwede yan sa mga leaders or sa mga staff workers sa A2D. I-compile from a document na ito yung mga TikTok videos na you can, mga pressure points, may mga ganyan. Maganda kasi sa nakaka-add ng pleasure talaga at pero free lang, hindi talaga, well, except sa eyes kasi kung sobra kang nagtitingin ng mga TikTok videos, nakakaano din sa eyes. But then sa akin, may folder ako which you guys can follow the leaders from A2D na parang i-share nyo nga, these are mga wholesome lang mga videos or mga exercise videos, mga diet, yung mga hindi masyadong process. Sa akin, ang ganda sa akin yung mga malunggay, i-mix ko sa bola-bola kasi di ba nakaganyan yan, i-form mo into balls. So hindi na nati-taste ng mouth, dami yung nutrients. So there's a way we can put all those healthy ingredients to pero dapat sa desire eh. Pag walang desire yung patient na ganyan, di talaga magko-cooperate. So I don't know bakit sa akin nag-operate ako. Pero yun, kung may mga pwedeng magawa pa, baka sa akin lang bakit may desire ako to be better ba. So I hope we can find a way and we can activate the desire of those patients na may psychosocial disability to have that desire to be better. Kasi I remember parang usually the cases they lose hope na hindi na talaga nag-e-effort. So very dark. I hope there's a way we can help them. So sa akin, earplugs, which is, ito pa, wag talagang gumamit na ng mga audio music na malakas kasi nang yung tinnitus, grabe guys, sobrang walang gana mabuhay kung may tinnitus ka kasi grabe talaga yung struggle ko dyan. Yung tinnitus, if you can Google, parang siya, pero 24/7, kung dahil nangyari college days, walang nakasabi na akin na masama yan, walang naka-guide na masyado, kahit saan na lang ako na lang palagi. So, nasobrahan pala, tapos nag-movies pa ako sa headphones, I didn't belong to a network of friends, walang family, parang wala, naka-remind ba. hindi naman at fault ng friends at family kasi ako yung lumayo eh. So, yun lang. Ano pa ba? Ito, medical alert card, medical bracelet. For other psychosocial siguro, maganda to. You can just save this slide para ma-share nyo um, sa uh, sa mga sa staff na ganito ang pwedeng magawa. Psychosocial parang tag para maybe matutulong siya sa special needs kung ito pala yung help nito. Pag may special card, hindi na-offend yung mga tao kasi pangyari hindi yung psychosocial wala talagang mood na maging sociable, maging tapos ang nangyayari pag sumama sila sa mga emergency evacuation center, hindi masungit tingnan pero hindi nila alam na may pinagdadaanan, they're really they're really fighting for their lives in their mind kaya wala nang desire ang nangyayari na yan na nasusupladahan or wala na. So siguro nakakatulong to na kung may PWD bracelet, the people around them will understand, okay, may condition to. So I as the personnel from the evacuation, I as the social worker, not I as a citizen or even rescue operation officer will be reminded nga, okay, so I should not take this against the person na hindi siya magandang mag-treat. Kasi usually sa akin, pag hindi talaga ako parang ang heavy ng nangyayari sa mind ko, parang I feel sad or at that day, lumalayo ako sa mga tao eh. So, and then when I'm okay, sobra talaga ako masaya na, yan a people person. So, when they see me, I'm not in a good mood, I'm not myself, na baka ma-disappoint sila. So maganda, nakakatulong na may condition ako. So hindi sila na-offend. So ito, mga mental health resources, I really hope na ma-inject dyan sa programs na you guys are designing na mapunta talaga sila parang accountability. Brother, there's one common to sa mga churches, may maraming churches dyan na Jesus churches na in-encourage to belong in a support group, mga 1 to 5 lang, weekly para nagpo-process, may masasabihan, malay karamay lang na hindi sa alak at sa mga babae or sa mga ganyan. Talk lang talaga, may power talaga sa ganyan. I don't know why, there's a lot of things nga I'm enjoying in this world nga I don't know why it works, pero it works. Pero I just, I don't care na lang kasi to understand how or why, but it works. So I keep on doing it. Yung credit card nga natin or yung debit card nga natin, we don't know how the ATM machine, pag ilagay natin ng card, maglagay lang tayo number, may pera. We don't know the answer. We really have no time pero wala na lang, sinusunod na lang natin kasi we enjoy the money coming out, we enjoy the benefit. So my point there is, these are things nga we don't have to understand really why it works pero we give them value because it's been there for thousands of years, been there for long. Kita natin yung mga taong pumapasok dito, ay maganda, dami ang change, ay makita natin yung mga people outside hindi maganda para na maraming kita mo nga, they follow this kind of faith pero bakit ganito yung angas nila or words nila ang masasakit, hindi kind, grabe ang jokes. So makikita mo talaga yung difference. So ang nakita ko na hindi naman guaranteed pero you increase the chances for these patients to be better, especially after a disaster or during the disaster kasi kapag marami nasa small group sila may accountability eh. So, ito rin, sabi ko, yung mga triggers, senseless talking, pag may condition, better, yung magkamali ka na lang sa safe side, to be safe na lang, pag may mga conditions, ito yung na-learn ko. And to myself din, at my fault din to sa akin kasi ako yung pabibo eh. Enjoy nyo, pero masabihan lang ng kaunti, yung ma-misinterpret ang weird brain wiring ko. Ako ang na-hurt, tapos hindi na nagpapakita, hindi na nagsasalita for 2 days. Dinidip-dip talaga, parang abnormal levels, sobrang ka-sensitive na parang onion skin ng labas. So, ang nangyayari sa akin, I make it a list, may parang checklist ako na mga reminders, parang tinatawag kong system errors, na I try to avoid groups, one-on-one lang. So, if you know a person na may mga psychosocial conditions, kunin mo yung reminders mo sa notes, ito yung mga usual triggers nila, yung kahit small talk or mga ang tawag na mga unguarded language, yung language na patapon lang kahit joke-joke na mga ganyan. So Yun. And then, ganun yun. Yun na, what is the time? Oh, perfect. May 30 minutes tayo na question and answer for certain things you want to clarify. I'm ready. And thank you for listening. And sorry again sa ang ganda-gandang top rated kasi nag-a-apply ako ng jobs yung yun ang sinend kong resume. Parang ang awkward na parang show off naman. Yung mga nagay kong writer na Ferdinand is a genius like me. Joke yun guys, di ako genius. So, yun. Yun, this is the end of my presentation. I hope you got value there. I'm really happy to share my testimony here. Thank you, guys.
Right, thank you, Sir Richard, for your